So, to continue on, should you or should you not back Arydia? So, if you, uh, let's imagine that you back Arydia, then you will set aside 250 euros. From that, you will get back on the secondary market, I think about everything minus 30-40 euros. Whether or not you actually like the game. Now, there were a lot of issues on spelling. These are corrected for the part that have been published. So the path of shadow things and the path of valor, those documents, the quick start guide and the reference book, they are massively proofread by enthusiastic editors, not me, but a lot of typos are identified. So those parts will be more or less typo free. The cards themselves, I said in my previous Arydia series, they had a lot of spelling errors, and depends on if playtesters have been checking them or not. At least the first part cards they have been corrected. But fact of the matter is that creators Cody and Ira are just dyslexic. So you should be okay with spelling errors in the later cards. As I said, so if you have, supposing that you back, then you get your name on the box if as a backer. So that may be a nice argument to get Arydia. Money-wise, you will have to set aside that amount of money. You have to also be okay with the complexity in the game. So to unlock the skills, as I described, you have to take into account the combat areas. You have to think for the foes, at most 4 minions and 1 boss, and they behave differently. During the management of the threat counter and the combo counter, you will have to do administration of the durability of the items that you wear. There are a lot of issues. Well, issues. There are a lot of nuances for swapping items during combat, for example. The types of remaining foes, they correspond with remaining die colors, and the die colors they address certain parts of your gear. So the black die, for example, only does the center things, and you can see this from the gray parts, the gray cells. Out of these 10, these 5 can be hit by the black die. The bottom part, so enemies with that use the yellow die will only target the bottom part, and enemies with the blue die will only attack your column, your center column parts are your head and your armor and your feet. And let's see, the pink thing is for the top center part. So this is this can influence which foe you want to take out first, depending on how durable your remaining equipment is during combat. Also, to unlock, to gain the mastery, as I showed in previous video, you need certain tactical decisions to take into account, so that you actually, how do you say, qualify for gaining a certain mastery. Aside from that tactical part, you also have some planning to do with your action points, so 2 normal action points and 1 minor action point, what you're going to allocate. What I saw in the combat examples is that you use the basic move for the minor, and then the basic attack for normal, and then the skill usage on normal. So that is it may be getting repetitive, but all these things take it into account. You have to have a clear mind and set aside at least an hour for doing a combat phase. So the game is supposed to finish in 30 hours. I find that usually under lower bound, and so you can more or less say 50 hours for normal people. The playtesters are very enthusiastic. The people that have an inclination to strategy are very enthusiastic. But are you that same kind of person? So it's not a matter of is it good or not. You get your quality. But do you get your playtime out of it? And how much of that playtime will you enjoy? If you don't enjoy combat, skip this game. If you don't enjoy card manipulation while simply adventuring, then it's not for you either. The manipulation of the game state is not that straightforward. Then you have space issues, so these medium and large maps. As you can see here, there are some complications for going to another floor and overlaying certain cards with game state dependent cards. So there's a lot of things that you have to keep in mind to actually operate. So so you have to be okay with all of that. Otherwise, it's just a non-issue. Don't back. There is also the matter of Xia, Embers of a Forsaken Star, and the solo expansions. This is a very expensive game, and it will rise in value because there will be several years in between the next printing of Xia. Xia is not proofread by others and has several errors. As you can see, also for the main rulebook, the solo rules, and Embers, they all have their specific rule sets. So if you are getting this, you will get a totally different experience, non-RPG, but sandbox. If you're not into sandboxes, don't back Xia. Very simple. Xia also takes quite a table space and also a lot of shelf space. So you have to be very sure if you're going to like this. Otherwise, because this is not discounted, while Arydia is. If you are in doubt, like I am, oh yeah, the last argument is, do you want a virgin game or not? So if you're okay with getting an as new game on the secondary market, then I would say don't back. If you are really had some bad experiences or something, then you want to be sure that the game is as good as it was. Then you want a new game, of course, a new specimen. But you cannot play this once a week. This for sure. There are too many rules. You will forget. You have to really learn. You will grow tired at the third attempt, and it will stay in your closet. So these are the arguments that I can provide. And when in doubt, don't back. That is the golden rule. There will be another version in several years. Arydia is the giant world, and you're playing only in the basin. So you can expect a second edition with another part of Arydia. But that might take some years later, and may also give rise to an update pack for your current Arydia. So I'm inclined to say that I'm not going to back this, despite of having spent quite a lot of time. Sandboxes are not for me. Tactical grids, I get stressed out by these things. Don't know exactly why, but I played a lot of tactical games on the video aspect. And in board game, I find it very tiring. So, but I like all the other parts. It's as good as it could be. So taken into account that there is the combo to understand, the threat to understand,